In the days when the earth of Igbo land was still soft with ancestral footsteps and the wind carried the voices of those long gone, there lived a village called Umekori. It was a place where the sun rose gently over red paths and set behind tall iroko trees, and where tradition was not written in books but etched into the hearts of the people. In Umekori, respect was not taught as a rule, it was lived as breath. Children bowed instinctively. Youths listened before speaking. Elders were regarded not merely as old men and women but as vessels carrying the wisdom of time itself. Among the daughters of Umekori, one name danced constantly on people's tongues, Adaeze, the only daughter of Okori the palm wine tapper. She was beautiful in a way that made people pause mid-sentence. Her skin glowed like freshly polished clay, her eyes held the sharpness of a blade and the curiosity of a river, and her voice carried confidence that turned heads wherever she spoke. From childhood, praise followed her like a shadow. Women admired her, men desired her, and elders nodded at her intelligence. Slowly, without her noticing, admiration planted pride deep in her heart. Adaeze grew knowing she was different. She walked with her head high, spoke without fear, and questioned things others accepted quietly. At first, people called her bold. Later, they called her stubborn. With time, she began to believe that age was no longer wisdom and that respect was something to be earned, not given. The elders, to her, were remnants of a slow past. Especially one man, Pomaduka. Pomaduka was older than most memories in Umekori. His back bent like a tired bow, his beard flowed white and thick upon his chest, and his walking stick struck the earth with authority each time he moved. He was known as a man who listened more than he spoke, but when he spoke, the village listened. They said his dreams were conversations with the ancestors and that his warnings were not empty words. Even the bravest men lowered their eyes when Pomaduka cleared his throat. One afternoon, when the sun stood heavy and unforgiving in the sky, the village gathered at the square to discuss the New Yam festival. It was a sacred celebration, one that bound the living to the ancestors. Pomaduka rose slowly, leaning on his staff, and told the people that the festival must be delayed. He spoke of a danger revealed to him in dreams, of a shadow that loomed if the rituals were rushed. Fear rippled quietly through the gathering, but before it could settle, a sharp laugh pierced the air. It was Adaeze. She stepped forward, uninvited, her arms folded and her eyes bright with defiance. She questioned the elder openly, dismissing dreams and warnings as relics of fear. She spoke of progress, of change, of how a village could not continue to kneel before shadows. Her words were loud, confident, and cutting. Gasps escaped the crowd. Mothers clutched their wrappers. Young men shifted uneasily. An elder tried to stop her, but she continued until silence swallowed the square. Pomaduka looked at her for a long moment. In his eyes was not anger, but deep sorrow. He warned her with a proverb as old as the land itself, that a chick that insults the hen forgets that the rain will one day fall. Adaeze laughed again, and in that laughter, something ancient stirred. Pomaduka lifted his staff once and spoke words that seemed to sink into the soil itself. He said that since she believed herself wiser than those before her, she should walk alone with her wisdom. That night, Adaeze's dreams changed. She found herself walking endlessly through dark paths, calling out, but hearing only her own voice echo back in mockery. Days later, her beauty began to betray her. Painful sores bloomed on her skin like cruel flowers. Her hair fell out in patches. Her strength faded. No herbal remedy worked. No prayer brought relief. The same mouths that once praised her now whispered behind her back, and the same eyes that admired her now avoided her presence. Loneliness became her companion. Pride turned to anger, anger to fear, and fear to despair. Adaeze could no longer recognize the girl she once was. Unable to bear the weight of rejection, she fled one night into the forest, her body weak and her spirit shattered. She cried until her voice failed, questioning the silence, blaming fate, blaming the gods, blaming everyone but herself. The forest listened without answering. It was there, beneath an ancient iroko tree, that Pomaduka appeared to her once more. He looked stronger than before, his presence calm and heavy with authority. Adaeze collapsed before him, her pride finally broken. She begged for forgiveness, her tears soaking the earth. Pomaduka told her that respect was not the enemy of wisdom and that humility was the path through which true understanding flowed. He instructed her to return to the village, to kneel before the elders, and to ask for forgiveness not with words alone but with a humbled heart. The next morning, Adaeze returned to Umekri. The girl who once walked proudly now moved slowly, scared and unrecognizable. She knelt before the elders, before the women, before the children, and confessed her wrongs. Her voice shook, but her heart was sincere. Poor Maduka stepped forward and lifted her gently, declaring that curses end where humility begins. Prayers were offered, rituals performed, and peace restored. Slowly, Adaeze healed. She never regained her former beauty, and that was the lesson. What she gained instead was greater wisdom rooted in humility. She grew into a woman who taught young girls the value of respect, reminding them that knowledge without humility is noise, and wisdom without respect is destruction. And in Umekri, elders still speak her name softly, not in mockery but in warning, reminding each generation that pride may speak loudly but respect is what keeps the soul alive.